Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the booming, wild, and incredibly dynamic landscape of coding agents. If you've been paying any attention at all to software engineering over the last year, you already know things are moving fast. Like, really fast. So we're going to take our time today to break down exactly how these tools work, why the underlying architecture is shifting so rapidly beneath our feet, and why coding agents actually represent a massive fundamental leap in applied artificial intelligence. Let's get into it. So here's a massive question for you. Software engineering has long been considered a universal medium for problem solving, right? But the rapid, almost daily evolution we're seeing in this space poses a deeply fascinating question about our path to artificial general intelligence. I mean, when a machine can reliably write, test, and debug its own logic to solve completely novel problems, how far away are we really from AGI? Think about why that matters for a second. Translating abstract, ambiguous human thought into highly structured, deterministic machine execution requires incredibly deep reasoning. When a system can do that autonomously, that's a huge leap. It's a compelling thought, and honestly, the architecture of these agents gives us some incredible clues.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the anatomy of a coding agent, then examine the challenge of the harness and discuss aligning intelligence and habit. After that, we'll check out Codeex as the complete package, explore building with agent patterns, and finally, look ahead to the future of coding agents.
Okay, Section 1, the anatomy of a coding agent, breaking down the core components. You know what's beautifully simple here? The core architecture. When you strip away all the marketing buzzwords, we're really just looking at three distinct slices. First, you've got the user interface. This could be your code editor, a command line, or even a background cloud app. Think of it as the steering wheel. Second, you have the underlying model, like the absolute powerhouse GPT 5.1 series. That is your engine. And finally, you have the harness. You can think of the harness as the transmission connecting the steering wheel to the engine. Now, while the UI and the model are pretty self-explanatory, that third slice, that is where the magic and honestly the engineering frustration really happens. Moving right along to Section 2, the challenge of the harness and the hidden complexities of connecting models to tools. Put simply, the harness is the interface layer to the model. It's the literal surface area the model actively uses to read your code base, interpret what you actually want it to do, and perform concrete actions using tools over many, many conversational turns. It is the connective tissue between raw artificial intelligence and your actual computer. And listen, when that connective tissue is weak, things break down incredibly fast. For example, without a strict harness, a model might completely hallucinate a custom tool that doesn't even exist on your system, which brings your entire workflow to a dead halt. Nobody wants that. Building one of these harnesses from scratch, it means wrestling with some intense, highly technical complexities. You have to teach the model how to use brand new custom tools it has literally never seen before. You have to figure out latency and how to actually show the user what the model is thinking. You also have to expertly manage what's known as context compaction. This is absolutely critical, because if you just blindly feed a model way too much code at once, it'll hit its token limit and quite literally forget the earlier parts of your conversation. And then there's the plumbing. You're dealing with secure sandboxing, to make sure the agent doesn't accidentally delete your entire hard drive, as well as thread merging, which manages multiple simultaneous actions seamlessly. If you try to build this all yourself, it is a massive, never-ending maintenance headache. Which brings us to Section 3. Aligning intelligence and habit, and why prompting is way harder than it looks.
Fitting a raw model into a custom harness takes some profound prompt engineering. Developing a feel for two very distinct sides of a model is the absolute secret to making an agent work smoothly. On one side, we have intelligence. This is what the model actually knows. It knows Python. It deeply understands complex React frameworks. It knows database architecture. But on the other side, we have habit. These models are trained to behave in very specific ways. For example, a model might have this deep-seated habit of wanting to write an entire 500-line script from scratch, even when you really only need it to change a single variable. It has ingrained habits of planning and testing. If your harness instructions fight against those natural habits, you're going to severely degrade its overall performance.
I absolutely love this example of habit in action. When early users took their old prompts and told GPT-5 to blindly and thoroughly check every single file in a massive project before making an edit, its performance completely tanked. The developers actually asked the model why it was acting so slow, and the model hilariously complained back. It said, "You're telling me to go look at everything, and I don't really need to, so that's what's taking forever." It completely proves the point, right? Fighting a model's ingrained habits totally destroys efficiency.
All right, Section 4, Codex, the complete package, a model and a harness bundled perfectly together.
This perfectly highlights why combining the model and the harness into a single cohesive product is so incredibly powerful. OpenAI's solution, Codex, safely bundles all of those agonizingly complex harness features completely out of the box. It functions seamlessly right inside your code editor, turns your loose specifications into runnable code, navigates massive repositories to make specific file edits, and it even reviews your pull requests. By bundling the model with the harness, they manage the complicated thread merging. They handle the cache optimization, and they do the secure sandboxing for you. Think about the hundreds of hours of engineering time saved just because you don't have to build that infrastructure yourself. It's a total game changer.
But here's where it gets really fascinating. If you remember how we all operated computers purely via the command line before graphical user interfaces were the standard, early humans had to rigorously learn the exact unforgiving language of the machine to get anything done. Codex essentially flips that script. It acts as a superpowered operator for that exact terminal environment, but it understands human intent. It takes your plain English and translates it into terminal mastery on your behalf.
And because it is a terminal agent, it's not just for writing software. If a task can be expressed via the command line, this agent can handle it. You could tell it to organize a messy desktop full of photos into perfectly categorized folders based on metadata. Or you could ask it to analyze massive, sprawling directories of CSV files for data science tasks. Imagine this workflow. It seamlessly opens the folder, writes a Python script to merge and clean the data, runs the script itself, and then just hands you the final, polished results. It flawlessly chains command line tools together to accomplish incredibly complex, non-coding data workflows.
Let's jump into Section 5, building with agent patterns, or using agents inside your own agents.
Now that we understand its standalone power as an application, let's look at how builders are leveraging the Codex SDK to power their own enterprise products. In this new paradigm, the harness itself becomes the new abstraction layer. By completely offloading the maintenance of that harness layer to the SDK, builders can stop tearing their hair out over API upgrades and context window math. Instead, they can focus 100% of their engineering effort on differentiating their core product and actually delivering unique value to their users.
We are witnessing a clear, rapid evolutionary escalation right now. Step 1 was basic chatbots you could talk to. Step 2 was giving those chatbots hard-coded external tools, like a weather API. But Step 3, where we are right now, is enterprise software equipped with an agent that can dynamically write its own tools on the fly. Seriously, imagine a chatbot that realizes it doesn't have the right API connector for a specific customer's backend, and it just writes the code for that connector on the spot and executes the task. Let that sink in. That level of dynamic adaptability is entirely paradigm shifting for the software industry. And we are already seeing top partners taking wildly different, highly effective approaches. GitHub integrated it deeply into their CI/CD pipelines to automatically resolve painful pull request merge conflicts, which is a massive time saver for teams. The text editor Zed took a completely different route. They simply wrapped the agent, which allowed them to focus purely on building the fastest, best user interface imaginable without worrying about model architecture. And Cursor intimately aligned their own tool sets with the open source CLI of the agent to extract maximum performance for their users. They're all using the exact same core agent logic to incredible, varied effect.
Finally, Section 6, the future of coding agents, and what we can expect next.
Keep in mind, this landscape is moving so fast that an agent like Codex hasn't even been publicly available for a full year yet. And still, usage is absolutely exploding. The Codex model is currently serving dozens of trillions of tokens per week across developers. Trillions! That is a staggering, monumental scale of adoption, and that number actually doubled just since recent developer events. The industry is leaning so heavily into this new workflow. So, where is this all headed? Well, as the trust ceiling continues to rise, meaning we actually trust these agents to do their jobs safely without our constant human oversight, these models are going to tackle much longer horizon tasks. We're talking about agents operating completely unsupervised inside sprawling, messy, closed-source enterprise code bases. Picture an agent navigating decades-old legacy spaghetti code, testing its own solutions without breaking the production environment, and easily adapting to non-standard internal company libraries. And most importantly, they will learn iteratively as they code without repeating the exact same mistakes twice.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. With the agonizing, highly technical complexities of the harness finally abstracted away, developers are being freed up to dream bigger than ever before. It leaves us with one incredibly provocative question to ponder. When agents can navigate sprawling, complex codebases entirely unsupervised, what will you choose to build? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I truly cannot wait to see what you create.